Because we're gonna do a sorry. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Wish You Were Beer Show.
I was drinking this one.
Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. This is a weekly beer show that we do every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter is where it streams typically. That may change in the future. We may find some other outlets, but currently that's where it sits. So make sure you go down to the bottom of the page there. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all the things that the teenagers tell you to do on YouTube and Twitch and other places. I don't spend a whole lot of time.
Huge on Discord.
What do you say?
Discord, huge on there.
Huge.
Yak. Big on Yik Yak.
Big on Yik Yak. College kids love us. But that being said, make sure you like and subscribe. And also all of our social media is down there on the bottom banner on the page. So make sure you follow along with us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Please go visit our website, wishyourbeershow.com. It's up at the top there. We've got all our old episodes. We've got a schedule of our upcoming episodes. We've got some beer blogs. We got a great merch site.
Yeah.
God, so much good merch.
So many people reach out to me like Spencer's from the mall, and they're like, who makes your shirts? Like, we're trying to get some. And I was like, can't. You got to go online. It's the only place you can get them. Wish Your Beer Show.
Only buy it direct.
That's right. It's direct to consumer. Oh, I know what you're drinking.
Oh, do you?
Really Pretty is such a good beer. I miss beer.
For those of you who don't know, hello, Scott, Vero, and Kevin. Thank y'all for stopping by. For those of you who don't know, Tiffany is participating in Dry January. So she hates me. She hates everything about you currently and everyone else.
Yeah, I am a permanent DD now. And
which is going great.
It's not going great, actually. Daniel's a pain in the ass, and somehow I still love him. So
yeah, it's because usually you're drinking too, so you can put up with me way easier.
Yeah, it's much harder when I am the totally sober one and you are totally tober.
Imagine being around the two of you when you're sober. So, like, if I was sober around the two drunk yous, think about how awful that must be.
No, that'd be great.
That's never happened.
Because I will still tell him that he's an idiot.
Sure.
And maybe he'll stop. But
not a chance.
He likes to poke my buttons when I tell him that, and I'm sober.
Anyone?
I am not participating in Dry January. I'm just going to skip over all that.
Neither is Daniel.
I'm drinking Virginia Beer Company's Terminally Pretty.
Which is
it's
it's a Hell's Lager. That one's delicious.
Great. You know what's great about their cans is like they definitely like have their design that they do, but they still manage to make them all look a little different in a like it's not just like they make them look enough different that you don't realize it's pretty much the same can every time.
Yep.
But like I don't know, they really nail it look wise.
I liked that one too because it was like an 80s like style font. So even the shirts for it that say Terminally Pretty look like it's like a Miami Vice banner.
It's fantastic.
Which I dig. So I am actually having one of our Protagonist beers. They're
so good.
This is their Czech style Pilsner. Protagonist is out of North Carolina. And they were nice enough to send us some beer because when Tiffany's not on Dry January, we'll be able to try it. But they made a breakfast stout that is called Tiffany.
Yes. So I better
based off of Tiffany, I assume, from her college days when she was back down there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Heavy breakfast stout.
Just 6 brewery dudes who are all like, we all share one thing in common, boys.
I was
breakfast with Tiffany.
I was their white buffalo. They named a beer after me.
I think it's White Whale.
No. White buffalo is from Hot Tub Time Machine.
I know. I was going with an actual historical literature reference. I didn't realize we were going back 5 years for a reference.
I think that.
It's so much older than that. Yeah, God. I love it. So, Phil, again, this is a normal conversation, but where the fuck are you?
Where in the world is Philium
today? You might recognize this background because it's been on the show before. I'm currently in New York City at Vero's place.
Nice. Yeah. And Vero's place is like an upcoming neighborhood, I assume, on the Upper
East Side. It's the sequel to Melrose Place.
It's Vero's place.
It's called Vero's Place.
I fucking hate subtitles, though.
Sadly, I know last week I announced that I was supposed to be in Maine with our good pal Gabriel from the show. I'm sure he's in the comments tonight.
He is.
But unfortunately, that was not able to happen, and I had to change all my plans. There he is.
Yes.
And I had to end up coming into New York instead of Maine. So
Terrible.
yeah, it's a terrible place to be, New York.
God, I'd love to be way further up north in the middle of winter. Said no one.
But I am sad because it would have been fun to have Gabriel on the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Vero's not here. She's in like the west wing of her giant New York City apartment. So
it's a big neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just me hanging out here.
I love it.
Speaking of our great merch, I don't know if anyone's bought. These shirts have been flying off the shelves, by the way. We've had so many orders for this shirt for one of these two. This is the shirt that we're still trying to sell everyone this month to wear next month. Whether or not you survive dry January or you attempted to do dry, those are your options. But I've got another dry January shirt for y'all.
Okay.
This is from last week. Not really inspired by last week, just it's dry January. So it's inspired by dry January. Here's this week's shirt. I'll do a close-up of it.
Okay. I can't. Nothing has changed on my screen yet.
No?
No.
You see nothing.
You can hear me though, right?
I hear you, but you guys did freeze for a second.
Yeah, it still has
still
the two shirt slide for us.
All right, let's try this again. Anything? Well, they're gone. So now it's just me in here. This is a great shirt that I'm excited about. If everyone else can see it, who knows? Let's check the comment section, see who can see. All right, Vero can see it. That's good. Gabriel loves it. That's good. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about, or he's just talking about me being here by myself. All right. Well, there's nothing more fun when you get left alone on the show and you just have to talk to yourself. So I'm going to go into the comment section. Scott says C. That's not sure what that answer is. Kevin says it's a good shirt. That's good to hear. I've been coming up with some good ones lately. I think the best one so far is Better Than Drinking a Baby. It's a good beer shirt. Now I'm just hitting buttons. Let's see. What do we got here? What VBC beer was that? Kevin, this is... hold on a second. You know what? Normally I'm just directing the show, not paying attention. Terminally Pretty is the one that I'm drinking right now. This is their Hell is Lager. It's actually really good. The design was, Daniel was talking about it, where it's got kind of this 80s vibe about it. So it's a good one. But tonight we are going to be going into non-alcoholic beers, which clearly I'm not a part of this non-alcoholic beer thing. So I'm drinking the Hell's Lager, but later today on the show, I'm going to be drinking the Brooklyn Brewery Special Effects IPA. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty new to non-alcoholic beers, so this will actually be my second non-alcoholic beer. Last week we did the Guinness Zero, and the Guinness Zero to me tasted terrible. I never want to drink it again. So I'm excited for this one. Nice. Is that 0 ABV? Yes. No. So it is technically a non-alcoholic beer because it is 0.5% alcohol, which technically qualifies it as a non-alcoholic beer because by law, beverages that claim that are non-alcoholic as long as they don't exceed 0.05. So it's not a complete non-alcoholic, but it's legally a non-alcoholic beer. So what's everyone else drinking? Kevin, you're very welcome. You know what? I'm looking over at Vero. Vero in the West Wing. Do you have? Would you like to join me on the show? Since my co-hosts are. Vero's gonna come in and save the day.
It's the Vero Fish. It's the Muppet Show.
It feels like a Muppet show.
We will not say that I have pajamas underneath and no shoes.
That's all right. You were the one who said it. So you have let everyone know.
Yeah.
If everyone else, what do we got here? Scott Jenkins says he's drinking Winter Storm ESB from Heavy Seas. I'm going to assume that's not a non-alcoholic beer, Scott, because I think you are not happy about this non-alcoholic month, if I remember correctly from past comments.
Yes.
Gabriel's drinking broth, which...
Is that non-alcoholic?
Probably not how Gabriel makes it. I think
know.
Gabriel probably it's probably just heated up bourbon.
Probably from drunk chickens. Like, no.
Knowing Gabriel, he just poured bourbon into a pan and heated it up.
Hot toddy broth. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into at least I know we do have 2 non-alcoholic trivia questions, so we can at least get into this. And then the other 3, unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to get in once
Tiffany texted me that their internet went out completely.
Awesome. All right. Well, so we'll get into this in what is now known as we all know. God, it's so hard to direct this and I have to.
I mean, you have a history with this.
And I have some facts about it too.
Oh
all right. So this is the portion of the show where we get into some trivia, which we have relabeled history and facts. Initially labeled history and facts. Daniel clearly does all this. And
yes.
But we got some trivia that we're going to get into about non-alcoholic beers. And we also have 3 trivia questions about the hosts of the show, which is hilarious that there's only one here.
Exactly. I think I know the answer to all of them.
I don't know.
And if not, we'll make up things for the other 2.
We'll figure it out. But we're going to get into question 1. And wait, do we even have the answers for these?
We do.
Okay. Vero claims we have the answers for these.
We do in the drive that you don't have open up there.
We're back.
Hey, they're back.
Yay!
Why can't we hear anything?
Hold on, our internet completely shit the bed.
We can hear you guys.
In the process of figuring it out.
Why is there no volume?
We can hear you.
Oh my
I want to tell Tiffany that we can hear them.
Just a second.
No, we'll just let them.
We'll be there in a minute.
This is crazy.
Gabriel loves these messed up shows. They're good for the bloopers.
Gabriel, I told you to come and watch this. You see, trust me when I tell you things.
That's right. We all know how good Kevin is at trivia. So
exactly.
Kevin, you can give the answers to this trivia. We're just going to get into it because I think by the time we get there, Tiffany...
Wait.
Yay!
We're good?
You're in.
You're in.
Yay!
That's what she said.
Our internet literally
Just
stopped working. It's very windy outside. I don't know if that's it or
those underground fiber optic cables really don't do well with the wind.
yeah, I don't know what is
Make any
happening.
fucking sense.
I apologize. I'm so grateful, Vero, for you.
Yeah.
By the way.
Thanks for sitting in. Appreciate that.
I came all the way from the West Wing.
I know.
Took me a while.
I had to call her butler to have the butler go get her.
Yeah, Jefferson went and got me over there from the West Wing.
Well, Daniel, since I know how much you love this, we'll play it again, but we were just about to get into some history and facts.
I do love history and facts music.
God, Vero had to go yell at her butler. She said he dropped something. We heard some broken glass, and she ran after him to beat his ass, I think.
He was trying to shine the silver and polish everything. And
She actually just pays him twice a year to reenact the entirety of Die Hard. So he's at the scene where he's stepping on the broken glass currently. Did you set this up already? Everyone knows what this is?
Yeah, everyone knows that we've got some non-alcoholic questions,
Great.
and then we've got some fun host trivia. So let's get
Great.
into it.
Let's fucking do it. Just in case we drop off the world again. All right. So, what is the top selling non-alcoholic beer in America currently? Is it Lagunitas IPA, Heineken
God, I
Zero,
hope it's good.
Athletic Brewing Wild Run non-alcoholic IPA, or Zima?
God, I love some Zima.
Yeah,
Zima's not non-alcoholic though.
they make a non-alcoholic version of it. It's made to
Okay.
taste just like gas station malt liquor, which is nice. Smooth on the finish.
Man,
Isn't it?
currently,
I'm gonna go with C.
I'm
maybe Heineken, because they have those really good commercials of the like, you can't drive, and then it's like, but it's a zero.
Yeah, I'm going B on this just because of the pull that kind of Heineken has over these other brands in general. Besides Zima, I know Zima's the number one selling brand in the world, but I just don't think they're non-alcoholic. Was what I mean. When you had Zimas, you were ready to party. You don't get Zimas for non-alcoholic versions. So
Andy said it certainly isn't this 3-notch I'm drinking. That's for sure. I love it. So yes, actually, the answer is B. Heineken Zero is one of the top-selling non-alcoholic brands in the United States currently. The fun part with this is we pull that slide back up.
Yep.
The fun part with this is that all of Zima's just one that I wanted to throw in there so we could talk about Zima. But Lagunitas, Heineken, and Athletic are all actually in the top 5 of the top-selling non-alcoholic beers in the United States, which is fun because we're going to be having an Athletic Brewing one. We'll be having the Heineken Zero. So it'll be kind of nice to try those two as well on back-to-back shows and figure out which one we think doesn't suck the least.
And then we're doing a Zima show. So that's going to be exciting.
It's the champagne of mistakes.
Boy, you thought our internet was bad today. Wait till we get some Zima in us.
I didn't even know Lagunitas had a non-alcoholic IPA.
Yep. Yeah.
But like I've said earlier, this is my second non-alcoholic beer ever I'm drinking on this show tonight. So
yeah, and I apologize because Lagunitas calls it in a IPA, that acronym. So I forgot to put that in there. I apologize.
I mean, it may have been me. I wrote the slides. I created the slides.
Oh, there's a good chance I did put it in there.
Yeah. It's fine. We'll take 50-50 blame on this.
50-50 mistakes. I love it. What do we got next? I don't remember.
A fun one.
we got a fun one. This is for everyone in the comments section to guess the answer to this one.
We will give you all plenty of time.
Yes. So we decided to do a fact about each one of us as part of the trivia, since we did a lot of non-alcoholic trivia last week, and we'll continue to do some through the month. So this one is great that you can make fun of me, but what job did I see myself doing in the future when I was a teenager? This is open-ended. There's no wrong answers here.
There are wrong answers.
So please feel free to comment along.
I mean, there's definitely wrong answers.
Oh, they're all right answers. I had a lot of dreams.
All of them are gone.
What teenage years are we talking about here? Are we talking about 13 or 18?
I would say early teenage years, because at 18, your dreams are somewhat crushed and you realize that you're just going to work for a long time. So yeah. I would tend to say earlier teenage years. Let's say 13 to 15 is what I was thinking of.
All right. And did you know professional masturbator was not a thing at this time?
Well, so bonus fact, if you go through my MySpace, it is borderline in OnlyFans, because I've been masturbating on camera for years, long before I was getting paid for it.
Just no one's watching.
Just that one weird uncle.
Has there been any right answers so far in the comment section?
Prostitution was probably the closest. Vero knows that I did do some breakdancing, which is sure that's in the realm, but not close.
I know that you were like into breakdancing, but I love the thought of like 14-year-old you thinking like you were going to be a breakdancer.
Well, the actual answer is just as ridiculous, though. I would love to be Henry Rollins, but he was already Henry Rollins, so I'll never be the singer of Black Flag. What do you got?
Oh, I assume I wanted to do theater.
Ah, okay. What about you, Phil?
I'm going with professional skateboarder.
Ah, okay.
Tony Hawk.
Okay.
I actually just saw a whole thing on Twitter about times that Tony Hawk was like recognized but not. and it was like 7 different tweets that he had put out of like, yeah, the like flight attendant saw my skateboards and was like, is Tony Hawk on the flight? And she goes, oh, same last name. And she like looked at him. Like there's a whole, if you're interested and you're bored on Twitter, Tony Hawk and like the slew of
The thread is fun to follow.
Yeah, it was good. Anyway, I digress. Skateboarder. Sure.
Sure. Phil is legitimately so close it hurts. I was not talented enough to be a good skateboarder. I'm okay at it. I preferred, let's say, something that was connected to your feet.
Fruit booting?
You can't say that anymore.
Dang it.
God.
That is.
You wanted to be a professional roller skater dancer. Break dancer. Roller skating break dancer.
I wasn't that good. I thought for a solid 4 years of my early teenage years that I was 100% going to be in the X Games. Because at the time, there was like street rollerblading, street skateboarding, vert rollerblading, vert skateboarding. I rollerbladed my balls off. And I thought for sure, if I just keep going, they're going to come around one day in a parking lot somewhere with me and my other 5 friends falling over and be like, yes, you're the next one. Never quite panned out.
I do love the fact too that like you like if you were going to be in the X Games in one of those sort of things, even as a teenager, like you already should have been competing or at least been in like skate parks or at least but you're just like in a parking lot, just assuming that you're going to one day be in the X Games.
That is a level of confidence that I don't think I've ever had.
The level of delusion is amazing.
Either way.
I was homeschooled. We didn't really have good access to, internet, things like that. So I just assumed that's how people get found. Somebody like Tony Hawk is just strolling through Newport News and was like, what's that kid doing? Did he just jump on that bike rack 1 foot off the ground perfectly? Let's get him in the games.
I have a fun Tony Hawk fact.
Okay.
I just found out because I've been listening to other podcasts besides ours. I know. I'm sorry. But I've been listening to one, Fly on the Wall with David Spade and Dana Carvey. And David Spade was talking about his first movie, which was Police Academy 4. And he played a skateboarder. And his skateboard stunt double was Tony Hawk.
God, that's a height difference.
Which doesn't make any sense in that case. But also just like how weird to think of that time when that's all coming out and like all those people in that one place at once.
That is funny.
But I kind of wonder if like he was maybe just like from the feet level, maybe they didn't do any
level or just like back of the head, like back body, because then at that point, camera angles, you can just put a wig on Tony Hawk. I love they put a David Spade wig on Tony Hawk and was like, can you kind of crouch a little bit? We need you to be like 5'5".
We're just going to shrink the frame. So you're just.
Oh, I love it. So, yes, I would have liked to have been in the X Games. I thought for sure that's how I would make all my money in life.
So I'm thinking, and I'm going to do this off the cuff, and I know this sounds crazy, but I'm thinking because we have 3 questions, we have 3 different beers tonight, rather than all talk about ourselves, why don't each of us open up one of our beers, or whoever has one, to tell us about the non-alcoholic they're drinking and kind of tell us about it.
Cool.
Since we're not going to have a full-on review section tonight.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll go ahead and go since I started then.
All right.
Tiffany and I have 2 different beers that we're going to be trying, but we're both going to be trying each other's. But
there we are.
The first, okay. This one is from this one's from Boulevard Brewing. It's called Flying Start Non-Alcoholic IPA, which should be fun. They're out of Kansas City, Missouri. So Midwest beer, which is always fun. And then on top of that, it's non-alcoholic IPA, which is always interesting to me. Because like I always expect them to be like a lager or be something that probably the flavor is pretty close without being egregious.
Yeah. Like how do you pull off an IPA and have it not be alcoholic? It's a little tough.
Yeah. Right off the bat, she's a little thin, a little clear.
Just a little.
Not a lot of protein content in the...
Which is always interesting to me with the non-alcoholics because most of them look like that in some capacity. I mean, The flavor's not terrible. I think it's just like the other one we had. It just something's missing, and I
It's
can't
alcohol.
quite. Oh yeah, it's alcohol.
Yeah.
That's exactly
No,
what it
this
is.
is.
Yeah.
This is actually pretty.
No,
good.
that's
It's
what I'm
got
saying.
like the IPA flavor.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of the IPA flavor. It's not.
It's like an IPA and like.
This is
I'm sorry.
because your fact is next.
No.
Yeah.
No, mine is next.
Oh, we put yours next.
Yeah.
Oh, Tiffany put the slides in. I put you last originally, so that's fine.
Well, we could do Tiffany next if you'd like.
No, because Tiffany's gonna need some time, so she probably should go last.
I think we're all gonna need time. That's the
This
whole
is interesting though. It's a little thin.
What would you give it on a score? Like what do you give it for a score? I guess.
I mean, for non-alcoholic, it's probably like right mid-range. I'd probably give it right at a 3. I mean, it's not terrible. It does have an IPA flavor to it. It smells similar to an IPA. It's just a little thin.
Are you comparing it against non-alcoholic beers, or are you comparing it against an IPA?
Non-alcoholic IPAs because I've had several of them.
Okay.
Check my Untapped. Follow me on the Tapped.
All right. Well, next one.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
God, I love this question. So this is about Phil, obviously. What teen heartthrob did Phil play at age 35? Could have been in a movie, could have been in the theatrical sense, could have been.
I could have played with him. It could have been 3 different things.
Could have been a lot of different things, but
I know this one.
I think we all know it just because
It was a big deal.
it made it really circulated them internets when it came out. Like I think you were on E that night as well.
No. So this is actually a different one. I know what one you're thinking of, but that was when I was 20.
I know.
That was when I was 20.
Oh, I know.
No, I know this one too.
Throwing people off. Gabriel knows what that one is. That's
Yeah,
why he's
Gabriel
got
knows
that.
the original one, which is Michael Jackson trial footage of a reenactment. Phil was on TV playing Macaulay Culkin in a Michael Jackson reenactment.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson trial reenactment on E. I played Macaulay Culkin. God, it's out there somewhere. I think Gabriel has the only DVD-R of it
Yeah.
that exists. I think he recorded it on his TiVo or something.
So Kevin's going JTT classic.
It is. I've gotten it before, so that's a classic. Or young Phil got it.
All over that
I don't get it
tiger.
anymore.
JTT was my team.
God, I wish I was on Sharknado.
You're not that lucky. You don't have that kind of clout. So Scott says Scott Baio, which is even better. I want you to be in a reenactment of Scott Baio. Gabriel has it on VHS, by the way.
Good. If you could get a converter to VHS to DVD that we could then put digitally, that'd be great.
That is tough to pull off. I don't know if the technology exists.
Just head down to your thrift store. I'm sure there's a DVD player somewhere. VHS DVD converter.
I still have a few.
So mine. All right. So mine comes with photos.
Yeah.
So when I was 35, I was in an adult production of High School Musical on stage, is what it's called. And I played Troy Bolton.
Oh, look at you. God.
35-year-old bearded Troy Bolton.
God, I love it. I don't know which photo out of those 4 is better, to be honest with you.
Well, see, this one's just back in the day. This is actually younger. The one of me and the next to Zac Efron when I had his.
I know
plastic
that's
hair.
the Phil I know is the younger one down there. Like that's a sex.
That's
icon.
like when maybe I could have played Zac Efron in a movie.
Yeah,
and
except
now
his arms in the other picture are as big as your neck. I know it's a perspective thing, but no, I like you contemplating your basketball choices in the dark, and it kind of looks like your leg has been amputated.
Yeah, that was actually just shot between takes when we were just shooting photos, and I was contemplating where I was at life, that I was 35 and performing High School Musical on stage.
God, I love it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the crazy part. When they did cast me as I even had the beard down to here,
Yeah.
so it made even less sense. I don't know who cast this show.
How much did you get paid for that?
Oh, endless dollars. I mean, it's how I've afforded to keep this show alive.
So
You know?
between my rollerblading career, your crazy royalties from adult High School Musical,
And Michael Jackson trial.
Michael Jackson trial. God,
Yeah, I got residual checks coming out my ass. Let's
you know
just
what?
tell you that.
Fuck it. Don't worry about buying any merch. We got it. We're good.
All right. So with that, I'm drinking He Said Yes, and I'm not really sure what this beer is. But I'm
forgot you
pretty
had
sure.
one.
Oh, I gotta take it out of this thing. I forgot. Since I am in New York, I'm drinking Brooklyn Brewery's Special Effects IPA. I told everyone this already while you all were working on your internets.
Yep.
I'm excited about this one because I do love Brooklyn Brewery. This is a series for them too. So they've got what are their other ones? I have it listed here. They have Special Effects Pilsner, they have a hazy, they have a hoppy amber, and an IPA. So I'm doing the IPA because Daniel, I'm with you on this one. And it's like I'm challenging this IPA aspect
Sure.
in a non-alcoholic. Little bit else about this is they say that this should have bright hop aromas, a crisp citrus flavor,
Woo.
and all under 100 calories. So
Oh, thank God. Trying to watch
Yeah.
that figure.
I got to watch my Troy Bolton figure.
I
Let's
love that
see.
you're gonna have a burner handle soon. That's Troy Bolton with that young picture of you.
Oh, I've already got it out there. It's on my OnlyFans. It's the image I use for it. You never see my face though.
Yeah. So they
claim that this is an IPA that helps you do more with your days and your nights. And little do they know how much I accomplish when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
So,
The color looks a little bit better than ours, or the one I just had. It looks a little more
Yeah.
full.
it is full. It's got it's actually almost got like a caramelly smell, which is weird.
Okay.
So I have a feeling it's going to be kind of sweet.
Anything to mask the lack of alcohol.
Oh, it's actually quite good.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm actually. You know, it's the problem with those. Like, well, it's not a problem, but it's a good soda. It almost tastes like a cream soda.
It's a good soda.
That's kind of what it tastes like, to be honest.
Well, this
It's
one
got
is
it's like a diet cream soda,
Interesting. Yeah, that's
which
weird.
is not really what you want in an IPA.
valid.
Well, but it does change the possibility of a good road soda.
True.
Perfectly legal.
Well,
It's pretty good though.
They have a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah,
just
but
a little
so
bit.
does like rubbing alcohol, but I can carry that in the car. People drink that all day long.
I don't think you should drink that.
Me either.
So I would say that this is actually one. I think I talked about this on last week's show where I said the purpose of the non-alcoholics a lot of times is just to either have you feel or look as though you're drinking a beer when you're somewhere when you're not. And this is actually one I could see part of my rounds if I was looking to not get completely sloshed one night, but wanted to keep up with the drinks.
Yep.
Because it's easy, it's not too sweet, and it looks enough like a beer. So that's, I think, is good. So looks wise for like if you're at an event, you're going to look like you're drinking a beer. It's a good flavor, and I could drink more than one of these and be okay with it. It's pretty light, so
100 calories.
and only 100 calories. I get to keep this banging figure of mine. I'm not sure how I feel about you laughing at that. I think my figure's pretty big.
No, I just love that you're drinking. I love that you're drinking non-alcoholic beer, and that's your way of maintaining the figure. That's funnier to me. Like, I really don't do anything. I just drink non-alcoholic beer and then just live my life.
All right. Let's find out what Tiffany's fun fact of the day is.
Okay. Easy on the comments on this one. But what
Oh,
did
geez.
Tiffany do for her 16th?
Yeah, what didn't she do?
Who didn't
True
she do?
story.
Yeah. Yeah, it should have been who.
So what did Tiffany do for her 16th birthday? I know the answer of this because unlike you didn't know my fact, I know everything about you.
I talk a lot. And I think that you've actually told me very specifically that it doesn't matter what you think, and
I've told you it doesn't matter what you think.
no, what you think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think
Kevin's sticking
Kevin's
hard
got
on the
it.
team. Obviously, she fruit mode.
Okay, now here's a question.
I know I
See if
did.
I can-
I feel terrible, but
I'm going to see if I can get some hints. Would 16-year-old Tiffany and 16-year-old Daniel end up together if they had met then?
Not at all. I would not have talked to this woman. She would have talked about things that were over my head. I would have been unimpressed. And I'd be like, yeah, but can you start a lawnmower and cut grass?
I could.
We're not
Actually,
supposed to be together. There was no grass in California other than...
No, I definitely got banned from mowing the lawn at one point because I was not paying attention and accidentally ran over my dad's extension cord with the lawnmower.
Was it an electric lawnmower?
No.
Okay, I was going to say,
Oh, no.
we definitely wouldn't have ended up together.
No, it was an electric one.
Nah, you got to mix gas and oil. It needs to
No.
smell like a lawnmower.
No, it was an electric one. And I definitely ran over the extension cord because I was just not paying attention.
Okay.
Yes.
Did your 16th birthday party have a theme?
This is not about the party.
So it's not a party. Well, I'm okay. So you didn't have a party. So I'm getting there.
Well, not on my actual birthday. I don't. This is on.
I see you,
actual
Clue
day.
Junior. Keep following those facts.
I'm gonna say you went surfing on your 16th birthday because you're from where again? You never mention it.
I'm from the area that's being totally demolished right now. It was
Oh.
on the
yeah. Haiti. What? No, it's not where you're from.
All right.
There's so many
Well,
questions.
it's definitely been in the comments. So
Ooh.
on my 16th birthday, I soloed in an airplane. So I grew up flying. Again, I'm sorry. But my grandpa had kind of like a timeshare, but for the plane. So there was like a couple different people. So I grew up flying and had been taking lessons starting at like age 12. Like basically my grandpa was like, put a pillow on, like she sits on a pillow and put a couple pillows behind her. She can reach the pillow. Basically. So I was like in the pilot seat of like a Cessna, like 152 or something, and flying starting at age 12. So like I have a logbook that has like all of this stuff. But on my 16th birthday, I did solo. So I flew a Cessna 152 all by myself.
Very cool.
Yeah. I actually didn't get my license until 4 days later for driving. So I was legally able to go fly planes for 4 days before I was allowed to drive a car.
Now, why do you have? When was the last time you flown?
It has been a long time.
We flew to Miami.
No, so
I see what you're saying.
When I was around 16 and a half, almost 17, that's about when I discovered boys and my life ended. So not a lot has happened.
Oh yeah.
With flying since then.
Now, what would you have to do to? I know nothing. I'm so intrigued by pilots. I guess. So what would you have to do to get your license reinstated?
She'd have to start over, basically.
So no, I do not.
Pretty close.
So essentially, what I would do is, and this is not off the table. It's just an expensive hobby that I'm not really able to maintain. But much like you hear with like pilots, they need to like redo or like have so many hours in order to maintain their certifications and all that sort of stuff. It'd be very similar if I'd go show my logbook, like I have, this many hours. I would have to get recertified, so I'd have to get a certain amount of hours with a flight instructor to sign off that yes, I still can fly. And then I need to retake a written exam, much like your permit for driving. there's something called cross countries, and so you need to go from like your home airport to like 1 over and then 2 over, and then I think you go. There's 3 cross countries, and I can't remember
Is
if
it
it's
all the way across the country?
no, it's just to the next airport. So
Very confusing.
it's more in the sense that you can change from air traffic control
Sure.
people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because if you are flying cross country, you do need to go through like zones. And then I need 5 hours of night flying.
So you have to start all the way over. It's
No.
what
Yeah,
it
this
sounds
sounds
like.
like you have to
Yeah.
start all over.
No,
That's-
because well, so remember when you had to get your driver's license, you had to
It
have
was
like
so
so many
easy.
hours.
No, my driving instructor said, "Can you just like drive me to fast food places?"
Look, Daniel was home driving instructed. So
which basically means just my dog was in the car. My mom was like, "Will you go get me some cigarettes?" Maverick, push the gas.
Okay.
Sorry.
But
all right,
anyway,
let's-
I have a lot of hours, so I don't need to start from scratch, but I do need to do a lot.
Yes. Yes.
well, I mean, I'm happy to hear you have to do a lot because it's been however many years it's been since you were 16.
5.
And
5 years.
It's been more than that.
and it's nice to know that you'd still have to do a lot to get yourself back up in the air because
Yes. Yeah.
it doesn't seem like something that you should just be able to do again.
Agreed.
All right, well, let's get.
Another fun fact: I have already co-piloted a plane with someone
Yes.
else I know that has their private pilot's license
His other girlfriend.
because he pretended.
He has a type.
What? I don't think so.
Was it a past girlfriend?
No. It's,
Oh, that would have been amazing. Just
No.
two, like you found.
Whoa, what is happening with this one? What just happened? This whole beer didn't even open. I just pierced it. This non-alcoholic beer is broken.
No, it's because the can was bent.
Oh.
All right, so what do you have, Tiffany, to show us for non-alcoholic beers? Let's get back into the beer aspect of this show. What are you drinking or attempting to pour
Yeah,
out?
let me open it real quick.
Remember how I said we should get towels? And we didn't this time?
Mhm.
That was my
So
fault.
this brewery clearly buys really nice cans.
Well, I also got these at Total Wine. So one, the shelf life on them is not that impressive. They're from late last year.
Oh, it's got shit in it. I'm
Yeah.
not drinking this.
Yeah, it's got shit in it actually.
Literal shit. Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It could be mold.
Could be. This was the newer one though.
This is a great way to promote a non-alcoholic beer on the show.
It is what it is because we just had this conversation. Me and Tiffany were talking about
There's
this
just nothing
about Total Wine. Like, because I
I'm
went
gonna get
through
a different one. Hold on.
Yeah, I went through all their non-alcoholic beers in the section and looking at the can dates. It's like, okay, so this one is actually from August last year.
Well, and this is this is kind of an issue. It's kind of what we talked about where, there's not a lot of non-alcoholic beers because I just don't think they sell.
Yep.
And especially a place like Total Wine, like if you are trying not to drink alcohol anymore, so you either have a problem with alcohol, so you don't, why would you go into Total Wine to begin with?
What?
Like, it just seems like, it's like if you're on a diet and you go to a donut shop to get a salad, like it just doesn't, why would you do that to yourself?
Why are you even in the store, dummy?
Question. What athletic brewing one are we doing?
It's okay. We'll just pass. We did one early. I don't want to do an athletic on tonight's show. We'll talk about it because we're doing a whole athletic show.
Okay, but I'm gonna drink this one because
But
I
she's
have
gonna drink
lot
a
of
beer,
them.
damn it.
Oh yeah. You can just drink whatever you want,
Yeah,
but we won't talk. We won't get into athletic because I want to keep the excitement for that show.
you're not kidding.
Man, yeah. So that's kind of the problem. It's like, and so you're gonna find at like a Total Wine, like how are they selling non-alcoholic beers?
Right.
And they're clearly not, since they've had one on the shelves since last August.
Even their regular beers, every time I go in there, like, I don't want to say since we started this show, but probably more so since we started this show, I'm flipping can dates, especially at places like that or hole in the wall bottle shops. I'm like, how long has this been on your shelf, so to speak?
Yeah.
And it's funny how much you do see that. I found some from February of last year at Total Wine. So I don't know who's rotating their cans. I don't know who they deal with, but it is what it is.
I mean, this goes into an issue I'm seeing that we're going to get into, I think, in the next few weeks, because I've been thinking a lot about it with the even just starting when we started doing the show, the amount of breweries that have popped up since starting this show, the amount of, microbreweries, just everything that's been popping up these past few years, the explosion of the craft brewery world, like, I think we're going to see something happening here in the next few years.
I'm okay
And
with that. Yeah.
I think you're seeing that exact issue right there where you're now looking at dates because I don't think they're selling, but like there's so many now.
Well, yeah, when you go down the build your own 6-pack aisle, there's there's 100 different options just within three feet. And it's like, okay, how many of these can you possibly be going through?
Yeah.
So Kevin says he's dealt with the same issue with them.
Well, and then also, I mean, Total Wine is really not selling to a beer crowd. I mean, their name isn't Total Beer.
True. But they are one of the larger scale suppliers to be able to find something at least, or find something different. So I expect more. From them.
All right, let's keep going into this beer trivia here. We got one more non-alcoholic question. So let's finish off this one.
Yeah, and this one's kind of quick and easy. I just thought this was a fun.
Your mom's going.
That was my nickname in college.
Yeah, it's named my sex tape. But I thought this one was kind of fun just because, technically non-alcoholic beers have 0.005 or 0.05 or whatever the hell it is, whatever the moniker is that labels it a non-alcoholic.
They still got to check your ID when you buy non-alcohol.
Correct, because there is still technically a little bit of alcohol in it. But how many standard servings, so 12-ounce cans of non-alcoholic beer, would it take to get a buzz / register as drunk, typically on a breathalyzer? And again, this is a little bit out in left field because the math adds up on everything, but it also depends on the body type. There's a lot of caveats in here. This is just a fun little experiment that some nerd at MIT did.
I'm going to go with D.
Yeah, my thought is to go to D, but I'm actually going to go C on this one. 40 seems too rounded, and I like the 31.
Valid.
That's basically my only reasoning. If a guy from MIT did, I feel like he'd come up with the exact number, and I feel like that'd be crazy if it landed on 40.
That would be nuts. Yes, it is D. It's 40. So, and the idea behind this is that you would have to drink 10 non-alcoholic beers to have one relatively mid-range normal beer. So a 4 to 5%er. You'd have to drink 10 12-ounce cans of a...
And that's all had like within an hour, right? Basically.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That the actual math equation that they broke down, calculated in time it takes to drink, calculated in weight, body size, frequency of already drinking, all these things. But this was just
I feel like you'd feel slightly drunk if you drank anything like that many of anything in the 30 minutes. Like you'd at least be like all confused.
I'm with Gabriel. Highly doable. Challenge accepted.
No.
Pay attention to our YouTube shorts section. I'll be drinking 40 beers in the next hour.
We'll be beer bonging non-alcoholic beers in the backyard.
I'm so excited for that. Nothing would make me happier than that.
There's a lot of things that would make me happier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just for the record.
Different life goals.
As I'm still drinking this beer, I'm enjoying, because last week I drank the Guinness and I was like, why am I still drinking this? I'm still satisfied drinking this one, actually.
That's good.
Yeah. And I almost wouldn't know. It tastes like a really light beer, but it has a strong enough flavor, but it's just not a beer flavor.
Yeah.
But I love me some light cream soda. So
yeah, I was going to say that's always weird for me because anytime something doesn't taste like a beer, it throws me off when it's supposed to be a beer. Even if it's like a really heavily like fruited sour, but I can't get a little bit of the alcohol taste out of it. I'm like, what is this? Creamsicle?
All right, we got one final section. Oh, but I do have a question. If you had to pick a country that you thought was the leader in non-alcoholic beers, added bonus question, what country would you think it was from? Or what country do you think it's from?
Well, I assume Vero asked this, so I'm going to go with Argentina.
No, I assume it's the U.S. I assume it's the U.S.
The leader in non-alcoholic beers is Germany.
Interesting.
which
Would
I
not have
find I
expected
also
that
think is
based off of their staunch consonant-driven language. A lot of alcohol involved.
all right. Let's get into our final section because we don't have anything else to do tonight except for talk about what we wish was actually beer.
All right, so if you're unfamiliar with the show, this is just a quick section where we take a minute to reflect on what we wish was actually beer versus what it really is. So if you're in the comment section, feel free to tell us what you wish was beer, either from this week, your entire life, if you're Gabriel, your wife, just whatever you wish was actually
Or
beer.
lack thereof.
I can go ahead.
I'm going to go 1st.
I'm gonna let Kevin start. He wishes whiskey because then he'd be less drunk.
Kevin keeps talking about whiskey in the comment section, so that's something. Anyone who's drinking whiskey, all they do is talk about the whiskey they're drinking. That's why I stopped drinking it.
I'm okay with this.
Instead, created a show about beer so I could talk about beer constantly.
Well done, soldier.
Imagine if this was the Wish You Were Whiskey show.
No.
It'd have to be a lot shorter.
12-minute show. Yeah, it'd be a 12-minute show, and I'd be asleep.
So this week, mine comes from today, actually, because I'm only in the States for a short period of time before I have to go back to St. Martin. So I'm getting in all like my doctor's appointments and everything while I'm here. And so today I went to the dentist and got, it all done. And which is fine. I don't mind the dentist, but then they were like, hey, you got to come back tomorrow for another procedure. And I'm like, I got to go to the dentist 2 days. If that was beer and someone was like, hey, you got to come back and drink more beer, I'd be thrilled. So I wish going to the dentist was beer because then I'd go I'd definitely hit my 6-month marks every time.
I love it. I'm okay with this. All right, so Vero wishes that technology challenged coworkers with beer because in her office would be a damn happy hour. That makes sense.
That is good. I wish whatever like infected side of my finger was beer.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It hurts. It's red and it's puffy.
You should have that looked at.
It's bothering me. That's all.
Why do you wish it was beer?
Because beer.
Did you think about this one all week?
Yep.
Because beer doesn't bother you?
Nope.
So you wish it was beer because beer doesn't bother you. We
And
got to
this
bring
does.
it back full circle, man.
I don't fucking care. I'm not. I'm halfway through this damn month. I'm not even halfway through this damn month of not drinking beer.
If
And
you're
I
just
told
signing
so
in,
many
you've
different
learned
people
why
because
not
I
to
was
do
like-
dry January.
No. I told so many different people because I was like, I am going to stick to this. I don't stick to anything because ADHD is like, as soon as there's no object permanence, I don't
What
remember
about
it
Band-Aids?
exists. No, Band-Aids make my skin itch.
Band-Aids stick to you. It's a song.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was like, I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to do a full 31 days of dry January. I do feel better.
Kevin has a suggestion.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. So
Drink a non-alcoholic whiskey.
Beautiful.
I don't like the flavor.
I'm in the whiskey for the taste.
I am not into whiskey for the taste.
Wait, by the way, did you all see the shirt from last week?
No.
Is it cut off?
No, that's where it froze.
There you go.
I literally,
I-
I don't know how to feel about that.
I'm
Actually,
so for it. I need to get all of our dry January.
I just can't figure out is it a piggy bank? We're gonna break the piggy bank in February because we're gonna spend so much money on beer again.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
saved
Okay.
a lot of money in dry January not drinking beer.
No, I've drank twice as much beer, and Tiffany's drove me around. It's like we're both drinking still.
It's really great. Super great. I don't know how much I can stress this.
Yes.
It's really my favorite.
You two are doing well. Daniel,
Thank
what's
you.
your beer?
Things are going great.
Someone does need a beer. It's not Daniel.
Mine's really easy, like normal. I wish memories were beer because then I could just catalog them and keep a track of them and be able to access them whenever I wanted
That
to.
is the oldest thing.
It's called the journal.
Oh yeah, I'll start journaling my dreams and memories, Phil. Read a book, man. I have a full-time job. Anyway, so basically, when we first started talking about throwing a fact out or something that we thought about ourselves at like a different time, I really had to rack my fucking brain. And I felt like I like immediately was like, oh my God, I have so many things I could. And then I started trying to think about it and I couldn't recall anything of being that age, basically. Like, I was like, fuck, I know I was that age, but.
Why do you think that mine came from 3 years ago? It's as far back as my memory.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Phil was smart. He went with something from like a month ago. Like, why didn't I just do that? So anyway.
I had a lot that I like. You actually took mine. I was thinking about doing what did I want to do when I grew up, because it could have been
a litany of things.
Yeah, there was a lot of things. There was an airline pilot, an archaeologist. I wanted to be a CEO.
Ziggy Stardust.
No,
we had different goals.
Are we just talking about who you did when you were 16 again?
Yes, me and David Bowie had sex.
I did not have sex until I was 17 years old because. Again,
well, that's going to be future facts when we all go over when we first had sex. That's going to be a great show.
Yes.
But I'll be honest, we can't do that conversation in the dry January.
Nah, we need it to be really, really
that's
drunk.
That's when we do the wish you were whiskey.
Yeah, that's wet February.
I was going to say it, but thank you.
I did hear about someone doing damp January.
I'm only having one beer a week. I'm doing damp January.
I'm doing moist January.
That's moist March. It is the rainy season.
Moist March.
Ugh.
Oh, well. Thank you to everyone who stuck around for our second episode of Dry January. Clearly, these shows are going great.
Super good.
I love that I'm not doing it, but I still feel the fact that we're not doing, like, just having one. I'm like, the show doesn't really get to go off the rails unless you guys' internet goes off, and then it goes. But thank you to everyone who watched tonight's show. Thank you to Vero. I'll make sure that I use her intercom system to let her know. I think she's down in the wine cellar. I'm going to let her know to say thank you for coming on and saving the day while you two are off doing whatever it is you do.
True story.
Yeah, really.
Make sure you check us out on the Instagrams, the Twitters. We're huge on TikTok, getting bigger every day.
Picked up 7 subscribers this week.
Blowing up on TikTok. And then check out wishyourbeershow.com for all of our past episodes and our amazing merch store. If there's merch you want, let us know, because right now we're just making some pretty badass t-shirts, but only can have so many t-shirts. So let us know if there's another item you want. Besides that, I think that's all we got, right?
I think so.
Next week, we are doing Zero from Heineken.
Yes.
The number one selling non-alcoholic beer in the States, right?
Yep. And I'll be interested to see what the glass bottle variation, maybe it's a little bit different than with a canned version of things.
I'm excited about this because this Heineken's huge in St. Martin, so the non-alcoholic beers there, the Heineken's there. It's one of the reasons we're doing it because I can easily get it there. And so I'm probably going to have a Heineken, a European Heineken, and the non-alcoholic Heineken, and see what we got going on.
Nice. Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
So come on back next week. Check out Heineken. And just end this with this high energy.
Fucking super high.